Hey everyone, Disappointed Giant here. Welcome back to another long play. We get ourselves a twofer. We get a twofer here. So basically we got two videos in one. The first is we're going to be pivoting towards a viewer build that Kaustubh submitted. My God, we're going by like 2 or 3 months. It's been a bit. I've been telling him this is coming, but we're finally here. So the viewer build that he had requested was a vampire killer fire build, right? So what are we looking at? We're looking at vampire killer, of course. Other things like Firebrands, torch, the fire grenade, flamethrower turret, those kind of things. So we do pivot in that direction. So the latter half, maybe like the last half or the last third of the run, that is the build that we're focusing on. But for the first one, so that's the first one, right? So the Tufa, so the second one that we have here, our special buy one get one special here. You can only get it here on Disappointed's YouTube channel. The other part of the build is I wanted to do something a little bit different. So what I've been trying to do is just throughout my normal kind of practice, my normal sort of runs that I don't record or whatever it is, I've been really trying to up my game in a way that is, oh, we got Challenger, beautiful. I've really been trying to up my game in a way where both I play more efficiently and I play more quickly, right? So what I'm thinking about here is, trying to get the 30 door if I can, or the 60 door, and we just got the 30 door there. Since we already have our kill door, there's no reason not to take the challenge rift at this point. We're going to get ourselves an extra scroll a little bit earlier than if we were to wait towards the end of the level. And if we take a hit here, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, right? Because we already have our, we already have our kill door there. So there's no risk. There's no risk at this point. And I also don't think we've seen any food on the map. So in the event that I do take a hit or there's some sort of difficulty or something here, we still have some kind of healing, right? We're still going to have some kind of food on the map. So at this point, it was the right time to take this challenge rift here. But my vibe here is I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient. I guess it looks a little bit flashier, which we'll see, as the run goes on. I think I take a hit right here because I try to recycle instead of addressing the rampager there. But as we'll see, it's going to look a little bit flashier than normal. We're not doing full clears. I'm not going to grab every little thing that pops out on the map. But what we are going to do is we're going to shoot for. My goal is to shoot for every times door that I could. So the route that I took, I love this route. I love part of the route. So the early game Promenade to Ramparts route, I love it. That's like the 0 BC route. If you think about it, normally like that's the way that you're going to go when you first start playing the game. So I love that. So there's an 8-minute door in Ramparts that we're going to hit. And then from there, we're going to go Conjunct to Graveyard. And we get out of, what do we get out of here? Oh, we get out of Prisoner's Quarters under 2 minutes with 30 kills. Fantastic. A very rare occurrence at this point since Prisoner's Quarters is so big. And again, I usually do these long, usually like long full clears and stuff, that this is not a common, and we get a fire grenade right off the bat. How beautiful is this? This is not a common occurrence, if you will, right? So we got ourselves a kill door, we got ourselves a time door. So the route, so like I said, we're doing Ramparts and then Conjunct, so that way we can get to the Graveyard time door, which I think is 19 minutes 30. And then from there, we're going to get to Forgotten Sepulcher, which is either 26 minutes or 26:30. I can't remember exactly what it is. So that was my goal. So we had two goals here, right? We had the speed/time door goal, and we also had the vampire killer burn build goal. So we're already in good shape to tackle both of those things here. As you can see from my outfit, I picked something that is a little bit fire-y, if you want to call it that, right? We got ourselves one of the flame heads. We got ourselves a red outfit that has a pretty cool cape, kind of like a little flame trail. I'm gonna punch this bat. Beautiful. A little bit of flame trail. We got some yellow midsection there to kind of like think about the middle of a flame being a little bit lighter or whatever it is. So we got our theme. We got both of our themes here. So we're rolling already. So as far as the build goes, we have the fire grenade right off the bat. So we are already in a good direction. With fire grenade, this is this section here. This is for the fam. This is for everybody that's grinding the forge. Those cells are for you. The fire grenade's not going to do a ton of damage, right? So it's not a super powerful grenade like some of the other skills that we may see, but the spread of fire, obviously that's what we're looking for. Oh, we get ourselves a Firebrands here too, that's sick. The spread of fire is quite good, so that's what we're looking for here. It's more for status application than it is for consistent damage dealing, right? So we're not going to lean on that as a primary skill for damage dealing. It's more like, all right, how quickly and how widely can we spread this fire as we use the fire grenade? Another benefit is because of where we are here, and it's going to be similar in Ramparts where we have all of the buzz cutters. Because of where we are, there's a handful of enemies that you're going to see. We already saw a little bit of it, where enemies, small enemies. So we're looking at the bats, the kamikaze bats, and then those little things right there. I don't even know what those little bird things are called. I probably should, but I don't. But because they have such low HP, like I was saying, with Fire Grenade, you're not going to be getting a ton of DPS out of it. It's a really nice little pop. It's a nice little pop to get rid of them. And we also have, and we got another Fire Grenade here. I remember taking some time here to sort of look at the affixes, but end of the day, it really doesn't matter. The affix is up on the top. I have no electricity. I have no root at this point, so it's not really not worth the trade. If I did, it would be worth it because we'd be getting extra damage due to the synergy, but the fire grenade level is a little bit lower, so it's kind of like a fair trade-off there. But yeah, we get the fire grenade for pop damage against those against the bats, you know, the flying things. We have lacerating aura, which is also doing a little bit of AoE, sort of that like less pop damage and more shred damage, I guess you could say. DPS output on that does feel stronger than the fire grenade, and because of the length of how long the skill lasts, as well as the size of the AoE of the lacerating aura, it does really well. It does really well. Again, it's a really good affix generator, right? You're going to see things like Toxic Cloud on what do you call it? You know, Toxic Cloud when the effect ends. Sometimes it'll burn the ground, I think. You know, there are certain things that you can get on there. So it's a good affix generator, and it's a nice little extra damage supplement, right? It's not a primary, like I was saying, fire grenade. It's not really a primary source of damage, but it's a nice little skill there. Another thing that we lucked out with is from the tubes, we got two great things. The first thing is we got Hayabusa gauntlets doing great work. It's a fun and fast little brutality item where it does criticals if an enemy has less than 40% of their health. So you can imagine, you know, early on the damage is just okay until you get to that threshold, but we're doing so well again with those two skills with our Firebrands that the enemies are getting down to that 40% threshold fairly quickly. So we're going to be getting the crits on that, which is great. It also has plus 30% to a slowed down target. So that's why I chose to take melee. That's one of two reasons. Number one, we're going to get that extra bonus damage. Extra 30% is great. And the other thing too is because Hayabusa gauntlets is a bit of a faster weapon, having slow is going to be beneficial. It is going to be beneficial for just in general, right? Slow the enemies down as you're starting to do damage. So it's like kind of twofold. You get the bonus DPS, but then also as you're getting that enemy down to that threshold, they're going to slow down. They're going to be taking damage from the lacerating aura. They're going to be taking damage from that fire grenade. So it's a really nice, it's like a nice little ecosystem that we already have going. And then the silent star here, I think this was a grappling hook. Whatever it is, I definitely don't take it. Yeah, it's a grappling hook. The silent star of the show here. So speaking of getting stuff from the tubes, we got an amulet. It's double brutality. So there we go. Check. But it also burns the ground when we run. So we have fire. We already have 3 sources of fire. Some may say that's too much. Me, I don't know. If we're going for a burn build and we have a consistent source of primary damage, for me, it's like, yeah, we could fill the slot with other stuff, right? Maybe like an oil grenade, or I don't know, it's like we talked about, maybe a flamethrower turret that will spread oil or poison, whatever it is. But I feel like the more fire we have, the better it is. It doesn't matter, right? So we're going to get that DPS, you know, flame or burn, I should say, is a very consistent source of damage over time, right? It doesn't do anything crazy. It just burns. You see the flame on the ground, the enemies get set on fire, it does some damage ticks, and there we go. There we go. So it's a really nice source of dot there. So as far as the beginning of the run, we're doing okay. I get 58 kills here. I'm carefully trying to make sure I don't hit a spike trap here before we hit that 60. And again, thinking about hitting that time door. Yeah, we're gonna grab it right here. Thinking hitting that time door, we just hit 6 minutes again. So the play is a little bit faster than what you folks may be used to, used to me seeing here, or I should say used to seeing from me here. But that was my own goal. Again, trying to be more efficient, scanning the map here for stuff I missed. I definitely missed a scroll fragment along the way, but just trying to be more efficient, right? Get some faster clears. And then also, just from a skill perspective, I feel like I'm always, even though I talk a lot about this game and I have a bunch of videos and stuff, the desire to be better and the desire to continue to grow, as much as I can within this for my own sake and also for yours. Like that's part of it too. So we're zipping around, and we're going to hit the Ramparts time door with more than a minute to spare. So as far as the beginning of a run, as far as stuff goes, where you're setting things up, we are already in a excellent shape for the first, the beginning, right? The beginning into the mid game of the run. We're rocking and rolling. As you already can tell, obviously this is post commentary. I haven't been able to set up my new office space with the ability to play my PS5 and also record audio at the same time. So we gotta, for now, I think we might have one or two other, I said episodes, like we're on a TV show here. One or two more videos that are going to be post commentary, but we'll see. I'm working on it. But we're good. So hopefully you're good. Hopefully you're good as well. What are we at here? Yeah, we're like 12 minutes into the video here. I always do this. I should have said this earlier, but of course, thanks for hanging, right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for hopefully enjoying the run, sort of seeing how things pan out. Of course, thanks for your time and for just kind of chilling here. Like that's the vibe, right? That's the vibe. But yeah, hope everything's going well for you. Again, no matter wherever and whenever you are, as I like to say, where am I recording this? This is the end of July 2026. So wherever on the timeline of your existence that you are, I hope shit's good. I hope everything's going well. Hope things are going well here. So the good news, like I said, we're off to a great start here, and also we have ourselves the Kaustubh build that we are going to be working towards. We're going to get some nice damage out of. Some fun stuff happens later in the video, which is great. But yeah, we got ourselves a nice solid, first build, nice solid second build, and again, just trying to shred through as much as I can. I remember I might start here. I feel like there's a section of this area, it's either when I get like 20 kills or 30 or 35 kills or something, where I play very recklessly and quickly, but it works out. So again, just trying to sharpen that saw, right? Trying to sharpen the saw and just looking at other people, the way other people play the game. Of course, Daniel's a faster Dead Cells player, going back to John Modesto's videos, he super fast as well. So there's definitely merit and there's definitely value into trying to again sharpen that saw, just continue to try to keep my skills at a higher level, because yeah, it's funny, I went through there's another video that I have footage of. I'm not going to post it. I originally was going to. It is a 85-minute video or an 88-minute video or something, where it's a build where a bunch of us in the Discord did it. We called it a slushy build, where basically you get ice shards, you get frost blast, and then you take what's the name of it? Frostbite. You take frostbite, end up getting a bunch of DPS from the slow, right? From the slow and from the freeze. So that's part of it. But basically what happens is it's just a very slow run. It's a very slow run, and I was watching the footage for that in my. I'm gonna put the thumbnail on the screen right now. I made a thumbnail for it. It's one of my favorites. Growing up, even now, I used to love going to 7-Eleven and get Slurpees. I still go on occasion, on those days where like I'm feeling a little hot out, or like I'm feeling kind of tired, or like I need a little pick me up, I'll go to the 7-Eleven and get like a big gulp Mountain Dew. It's fantastic. So I'm going to put the thumbnail on the screen. It's one of my favorites. I love it. You're probably never going to see it on a video unless I edit it into something else. But I was going through that footage, and it was just like watching myself uncover every secret, right? And again, it's a slower kind of build or whatever, but even uncovering every secret and killing every enemy and doing this, it was like a little tough to watch. So I think, having a faster play style, not picking everything up every single time I play a run is I think it's going to be helpful for me, and it might be helpful for you folks too. Just kind of, knowing that in general, if you're trying to get cells for the forge, or you need gold for your runs, or you're hunting blueprints or whatever, or you need food, whatever it might be, of course, getting additional, additional kills, doing full clears, getting stuff out of the walls and the floors, all the secrets, like that's helpful. But for me, I'm not at that point. I think it might have been the last video I put out, right? It could have been the I don't even remember what it was. I remember I had Scarecrow on the thumbnail, but it might have been that video or another one where I was making a joke about playing fast being like a new way of life. So that's how we're going to shift for the most part, right? That's how we're going to shift. And another thing too, so I was thinking about this. So I obviously, I play other games too. Here we go. Yeah, so I did that little dance because I could feel Explorer's instinct. I could feel it coming. I wasn't looking at the map. I didn't know exactly how far I had left. But like, you get a sense, right? After however many thousands of hours, you just kind of get a sense of what's going to happen when. So I knew Explorers was going to pop there. So I was like a little bit of swag, a little bit of run swag there for bragging rights or whatever you want to call it. But I watch a bunch of other YouTube creators, so not necessarily all Dead Cells. I feel like at this point, I keep up with Daniel, of course. And side note, just by coincidence, his next video that he's probably going to be putting out on the same day as this, if not the day before, the day after, is also a Firebrands vampire killer build. Just by coincidence, complete coincidence. We didn't plan it. That wasn't part of the vibe where I'm like, hey man, I'll do this, you do this, let's put it out around the same time. It's complete coincidence. I think I'm going to grab this knife dance. I'm going to grab it. I want it. Yeah, I'm going to grab it and re-roll it between biomes here. But just like complete coincidence, Daniel and I are putting out the same, a very similar video. So what I'll do is once that's out, I'll either put it in the description or I'll maybe even pin the comment, because I feel like folks look at comments more than they look at the description. So you can check that one out too. I was joking with him earlier today. He does his Arnie voice. I joke like we were twins. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger and I'm Danny DeVito, right? So that way we're twins, but we're not the same there, right? And real quick, so we're going into Conjunct here. I think I might actually roll melee off. I'm not positive. Let me see what we got. We got a little bit of burn, a little bit of bleed synergy. I do. So what do we do? Do we combo? I should take disengagement and hopefully I take open wounds. Right? I want to do open wounds here, I think. Please do it. Please do open wounds, man. Because I think we got bleed synergy somewhere. What am I doing? Am I taking vengeance? Oh, bummer. So I think I had bleed synergy somewhere. The downside to this fight's going to take a while. I don't think I have any synergy here. Of course, coming in here at, almost 11 minutes, like that is quite good. That's as far as timing goes, that is fantastic here. So we're coming in here nice and early. However, this fight does take a little bit of time. So normal conjunct fights, like the damage is not usually this low. Like you can just see there, like for me, watching any fight like this is painful. My own fights, right? Of course, I'll keep up with other folks who are, coming up, going through the BC climb and building their forge. So if you're early on or mid on or whatever you want to call it, and your fights are, the damage is like this, don't feel bad. I'm just talking from my own sort of patterns, right? My own skill level and the ability with which I try to put my synergies together. This fight was very difficult for me to watch. Like as you can see, like that is not That is not impressive, and it is not exciting damage. So this fight's going to take a little bit, by a little bit, a lot. This fight's going to take a lot longer than I would have hoped. I don't get the flawless. I think I take a couple of hits from the tentacles here, but we're chugging here. So one of the things that I did, I skipped Prison Depths from Promenade, and the reason for that is, like I said, I wanted to go to Ramparts, trying to get the time door, but also there is no exit from Prison Depths to Ramparts. You can only go Ossuary Morass or what do you call it? Ancient Sewers. So, or you might be able to actually do, I think there's exits to Ossuary Morass, Dracula's Castle, and Ancient Sewers. I'm not positive. I'm not 100% positive, but either way, you cannot get to Ramparts from corrupted Prison Depths. So decided to skip it. So we're losing out on that one scroll from the curse chest at the beginning of Prison Depths. Yeah, you can see there. I just left a gem on the map. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, get me out of here. So we lose one scroll from not taking the curse chest at the beginning of Prison Depths, but if you may have noticed, we also got 2 good dual stats. So I have 2 extra stats in my brutality right now. So we're at 16, which is good. It's good going into this tier biome. And we also had a challenge rift. So I think we have a +3 net of scroll count at this point compared to maybe what we normally would have, or maybe +2 if we ended up going to Prison Depths or whatever. So we're not in a bad shape, right? It's not like I skipped a curse chest, didn't get any bonus scrolls, and we're coming into wherever we are with here with like 13, 12, 13, whatever it might be. I could technically have taken the bank and taken the Sepulcher exit, but that would have taken too long. I probably could have pushed through it in 14 minutes, but that level is so big. It's so big compared to the graveyard here. So this was the right move for me, especially considering the goal that I had set for myself here. So we're in the graveyard here, starting to shred through, and let's talk mutations. So I did take melee again. I think I may have actually rolled off the +30 to slow. I think this section here is also kind of intense as far as movement, juggling multiple enemies, trying to get my skills out, slamming. Yeah, this was a little bit hectic, but really fun. I found that this style of play is very fun. Of course, I also feel like as far as the builds that you could sort of shred with, tactics, number 1, tactics is great. And again, something like this where you get fast brutality, think about Hayabusa gauntlets, think about something like balance blade, maybe bone, stuff like that where you can zip around. You're probably not going to get a lot of use out of survival, right? If you're trying to play really fast, I don't know, maybe Alucard's sword might be okay, maybe Gold Digger, probably War Spear, baseball bat, of course, but a lot of survival weapons are not conducive to a faster sort of run around and shred kind of style of play. But a brutality build like this for sure, tactics build for sure. And we already got our 60. We already got our 60 kills. Graveyard is a very dense biome. We're gonna have a lot of rats, right? We get bats, we get rats, we have inquisitors. So just off the bat here, right from the get-go, we're gonna see a lot of enemies. Like, yeah, you can see down there, we got a little grouping of rats. And you're going to notice that too once we end up down in the crypt area, right? So we already, yeah, you can see here, there's like bat. We're going to get a ton of bats and stuff like that. Right from the get-go, again, we're going to have a bunch of enemies here. We're going to get that 60 pretty easily. And I think even if I think we may end up taking some damage at some point here. But even if you do a full clear, like if you get hit when you have like 50 kills, there's a very good chance that you're going to be able to top off at 60. Because I think there's like 100 and, I don't know, man, might be like 130, 120, 100, whatever enemies in here. There's a lot. There's a lot, again. And I think, I'm not positive on how the enemy density is weighed, but it does feel like the levels that have a lot of smaller enemies, right? We're looking at, again, bats, rats, kamikazes, buzz cutters, whatever it is. It feels like the density of enemies in that level is higher. There's more enemies because I wonder, again, I don't know if this is how it's calculated, but it feels like enemy spawns have like a weight to them. I think I take a couple of nasty hits here, right? I think I go right there it is. And then once again, there it is. I feel like enemy weight, right? So the more the weaker and smaller and quicker an enemy is to kill, I think the more of that type of enemy is going to be here. You're not going to go into a biome where there's 50 what do you call them, 50 cannibals, right? Or 50 slashers or anything like that. So it seems like the enemy density here is higher because there's a lot of enemies that are weaker, a lot of smaller enemies. So they're trying to pack in whatever it may be. So we got the 60, but again, before we even went down into the crypt, and we're just going to continue to rock here. Like I said, I took those 2 big hits off of those spikes, unfortunately, but fortunately, we did have a large food. We had a large unmalaised or uncorrupted food. We had a clean food. That's the right word. We had clean food on the map, so we were able to just pop that down, suck it down, get half of our health back, and then continue to roll. If that were not the case, if we did take a huge hit and there was no food on the map and we didn't want to use a flask, there is a food shop in here. Here's where I blunder. I look at a balance blade right here. It's got spreads oil and 100% damage to burning oil. So right off the bat, we would have got double damage. We would have got double damage with that. I look at it and I'm saying, all right, do I want it now? I make sure it's not mimicked and I'm like, all right, I'm going to grab this at the end of the level. I'm enjoying the Hayabusa gauntlets. I know we're coming into a curse. Soon, so I don't want to change my kit because sort of like the muscle memory or the vibe or whatever you want to call it here. I've gotten into a groove, so I don't want to take a curse and then feel like I need to change my approach, right, with the different types of weapon. Again, these cells are for all my friends who are grinding up that forge. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're going to get there. That S plus, or I should say the 100% S, you're going to get there. You just got to keep on dumping those cells in there. But I have faith in those, pouring those cells out for you, pouring them out for you. You're on your way. You're on your way there if you've been grinding for it. But if I didn't, I think this is what I was talking about. There is a food shop there. So if we ended up not having the big food on the map, or, we didn't have enough food, we'd be able to grab extra health without using a flask. At the end of the conjunct fight, I did use a flask. Again, the fight did not go well. Took longer than I would have hoped, longer than I would have expected. But again, we're looking at, unfortunately, there's that right there is a mimic. It's a mimic low room there. Unfortunately, based on the fact that we did not have any synergies, and also, I bet part of it too is the Hayabusa gauntlets that we're using. They're level 4. Again, they came straight out of the tube. They're level 4, so basically, it's going to do less damage than something if we pick something up in Ramparts or, even between the, what do you call it? Between Prom and Ramparts. If we picked something else up, we would have been in better shape. So that's part of it, right? Low gear quality, no real synergies to speak of. So that was a bummer. That was a bummer. So I did use a flask at the end of that. And what I decided to do here is I decided to take Tainted Flask because I did want to top off, but the additional $20,000 that I would have spent on a flask is less, or excuse me, it's like, depending on how many, depending on what point we are with the rerolls, I can't remember if it was 4,000 or 8,000. I think we might be at 8,000 at this point, but either way, it's going to be 2.5 times or 5 times as expensive as a mutation roll. I think we'll go with 2.5. I think that's the right number here. So instead of spending all that money on a flask, what I decided to do was take Tainted Flask. So you kill X amount of enemies, or I should say X amount of elites, depending on the, what's the word I'm looking for here? Depending on the amount of scrolls you have, the more scrolls and brutality you have, the less amount of elites you need to kill. But when you kill that amount of elites, you get a flask back. So it was cheaper for me, or I should say it was more cost efficient, and it lends to a better economy by taking Tainted Flask here. I might actually take it into the next biome as well, then spending the $20,000 on a new flask or a fresh flask here. So we made it. We made it out of here. We did get the kill door again. We got the time door again, coming into Sepulcher under 18 minutes. So we are like 8.5 minutes below the threshold there, which is beautiful. It's beautiful. We still have our starting gauntlets, and I think at this point I might have remembered. I was just like, oh man, I did not go back for that balance blade. I should have, but I did not. It's probably for the best, as we'll see as the run continues here, but did not go back for it. And it would have been nice. It would have been nice to take in here. As you can see from my third mutation, in addition to melee and tainted flask, I decided to take Predator. Predator is so powerful. I feel like I've talked about it 100 times. It is probably the most busted gameplay mutation. Not talking about Curse Flask and Demon Strength, but just normal gameplay mutations. It's so busted. At this point in the run, I'm getting almost 3 seconds of invisibility with every melee kill. So another biome that's very dense. Sepulcher is also a dense, enemy dense biome. So there's things all over the place. So for dollars to donuts, this is my favorite biome to take Predator into, because you are going to get so much use out of it. There's sections where you're going to have like, I don't know, 15 or 20 enemies on like 2 platforms, 3 platforms, and you just shred, right? You just go through, you shred with Predator, you stay invisible, and enemies, like, they just obviously, with invisibility, they have no idea. They have no idea where you are. I also discovered the curse chest here. We got it nice and early. So what I wanted to do is just take a peek. I recommend doing this if you can before you open a curse chest. Just take a peek down the hallway, take a peek throughout the teleporters to see what is ahead of you here. It would be awful if you take the curse chest and then your only path forward is an elite, and that elite happens to be a diamond elite or a laser elite. This gets super gnarly. This is a very gnarly curse. Like you can see here, I narrowly avoid death like 4 times. It was that little section was tough. We're gonna make it through here once I'm waiting for my skill cooldowns to come in. There's actually a knife thrower there I didn't see. I thought it was just a failed experiment, but we made it through. But it'd be awful to, like this right here, if you go down a hallway and then you see an elite and all it is a line elite or a diamond elite, and they take you out before you even realize what's going on. No bueno. No bueno, friends. So that's what you're going to want to do. If you can, just take a peek before you open the curse chest. Go down the hallways. Again, go through some teleporters, see what it is. Make sure you got enough enemies on the map, and then clear the curse and move on. So I was saying this a little bit earlier. I think I started saying it during the Ramparts section. But I made a comment about playing better for my own edification, and I think I said something about, and for everyone, for all of you out there too, just trying to like keep skills sharp in whatever it is. And recently, I am back. I am deep in the Balatro hole again. I am so deep into it. Last summer I got way into it. I didn't really know exactly the best way to play. I was just continually playing checker deck and spamming flushes, trying to get wins. And I was like, why is this so hard? And it's like, well, because things don't scale well, right? We got ourselves another brutality scroll. So that's 3 good dual stats, and we did not scroll manip. We came into Promenade with 6 brutality and then 1 normal stats. So we came in here with 611, which is not a scroll manipulation seed. So we're good. We've gotten extraordinary luck so far with this. But I'm deep in the Balatro hole. I am deep in there. I think I might actually take this. Yeah. So, oh no, I don't. I keep the flame amulet, even though there's less health. Instant recycle with the misery cord there. So I've been watching a ton of Balatro videos, again, just trying to like keep my skills up. I'm very proud of myself. I have been going through all the decks and I've been climbing stakes, and so far I have gotten 3 gold stake wins. I've gotten 1 on the red deck, 1 on the blue deck, and just yesterday morning I got 1 on the yellow deck. So I'm super stoked. I'm gonna give myself a round of applause. Right? Give myself a round of applause. And, I was thinking, like, again, I'm watching a ton of videos. I watch a little bit of Raffle. He's super rough around the edges, which is like a turnoff sometimes, but also it's also kind of funny depending on what people are saying in his chat. But he's a very smart player, but he doesn't really explain everything the way that is helpful for me. It's more like when I already understand things and I see what he's pulling, it's really good to see that. But I am a huge fan of Dr. Spectred's Balatro University YouTube channel. He generally puts a video out every day, and he'll do something similar here where he will go through a run go through a run. He'll talk through everything. We could do this, we could do that. I really vibe with that sort of style of commentary, that sort of style of gameplay. And I was thinking about it because, again, I watch this all the time. You know, I've been in the groove of watching his videos just, you know, every day whenever he puts out a new video. And like I had this moment where I was thinking about my own channel, right? Thinking about our channel here, right? And thinking about, you know, some of the comments I've gotten, and it like, I had a moment where I just realized, like, it kind of like I stepped back for a bit and I was just like, wait a second. I'm like, there are people out there who watch this channel and who watch my videos the same way that I watch Dr. Spectred's Balatro University videos. And it just like, I don't know, it just put a lot of things into perspective. It was pretty wild, where I was just like, wait a second. I was like, yeah, like, this is fun, of course, right? I love Dead Cells. I love making videos. You know, I love interacting with everybody, but there's definitely like a part of this where it's just like, it's way bigger than me. And I'm just like, wow, like I had a moment. And again, that's not me being like, well, of course, you know, my channel's the best in these videos, whatever it is, you know, that's not my vibe. It was just that moment where I was like, wow, like, I am a resource for people, and people like the channel, and I like the people that like the channel. It was just really sick. It was really sick. So it was a really cool moment of recognition. And, you know, I guess cycling back, like, you know, I thank you all for chilling, right? Thanks for chilling. Thanks for, you know, doing whatever it is that you're doing to contribute to your own gameplay, to continue interacting with me and with other people. I think, what am I doing here? I'm looking for, do I take the flamethrower turret? I think I do. I got the electrodynamics here. I'm not impressed with them, so I wanted to get those out of the way. But yeah, just a thank you to everyone that's been hanging out and using the channel as a resource and whatever. You know, it's fun for me, and it's generally a pleasure to put these things together. So just had that moment, just wanted to share. So again, I really appreciate everyone chilling. And, you know, if this video is helpful, if my tutorial videos are helpful, if my other long plays are helpful, then hell yeah, enjoy, and hopefully you are reaching a point, or have reached a point with your skills where you're really happy about how things are going, right? And all right, so here we are. So here's the pivot point. We upgrade our Firebrands. I'm re-rolling the shop here, saying, where's the vampire killer? And there it is. So we're going to grab the vampire killer here. I'm going to throw it in the backpack for now. And I think my reasoning here, I'm thinking about it, it's like, all right, well, I got this balance blade. It's not the one that I wanted. It's not the one that I should have bought in Ramparts, but it is a balance blade. It's another fast item. I'm like, well, let's take this into Giant. Let's take this, of course, since we're going for a faster run here, we're going straight from Giant to Hand of the King. So I'm like, let's take this. Let's take this through and see how it is. So I toss the vampire killer in the backpack, so that way we can kind of, I think we do like a little bit of compare. That was a beautiful Tesla coil, by the way. I think it had burning oil, spreads oil, burns the ground, 80% of poison, and generates a toxic cloud. If this was a tactics build, like, I would be done. I would take that and I would never stop. I would never look back, right? Let me look at synergies here too. So we got bleeding from the knife dance. We have toxic cloud from the flamethrower turret. We have poison and bleed on the vampire killer, and we have double damage and bleed on the Firebrands. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, yeah, we don't even need this balance blade. The synergy here is so good. I'm like, I'm not going to re-roll. I think we're going to do disengage, support, maybe combo or vengeance. I think we might do, which one are we doing? I would pick Vengeance right now. Yeah, we're going to do Vengeance just for safety here. But yeah, we got some great synergies, and I can't remember exactly what the final build is. I know we keep the Vampire Killer, of course. I know we have the Firebrands. I know we get a little surprise in the backpack. That sounds awful. But yeah, we're going to look at this. We get some nice damage here. So we got burning, of course. I'm going to take a big hit here. Yeah, so disengage pops right off the bat. And I'm like, all right, do I want to heal? And I probably should have healed here. But I didn't. I was like, in the moment, I'm looking at my vampire killer damage. I'm looking at the items and the synergy I have, and I'm like, yeah, I can handle this. I think we actually get one more cycle here, but the hand here, you can see the hand is such low health, it doesn't make that much of a difference. So took a big hit there. Again, you know, we got double damage on those Firebrands, so it's going to drain my health more than usual. So not super stoked about that fight. But again, we have ourselves, am I going to take this over? I think I might take this over Flamethrower. I just love Cleaver. I love Cleaver. I love Bleed. I love Knife Dance. I love Poison Synergy. Like, sign me up. Sign me up. I do pause here for a second to decide, all right, do I want to go to High Peak or do I want to go to Hand of the King? And of course, we're just going to continue to shred here. But yeah, having those double damage Firebrands, not super helpful when you take a big hit, of course. And I don't know if you can hear it. Hopefully not, because I got my noise gate and I'm talking here, but there is a bird outside. It feels like it's right on my shoulder. I living in being in a suburban-ish area, I think I'm going to roll a lot here to get Toxic Cloud. I think I'm going to spend a lot of my money. Look at this. I'm down to, there we go. So I spent like 20,000, 15,000 bucks, 20,000 bucks, whatever it was, trying to get that roll. I'm going to take another sip here of my, of the flask, and then we're going to roll through. But being in an area where there's more trees and a little bit more space between the houses, birds are everywhere, man. Birds are everywhere. So I would like to apologize if this is coming through on the microphone. If I'm not talking, the noise gate should cover it. If I am talking, hopefully my voice covers it. But little Tweedledee out there is making their presence known, saying, "Hey man, that vampire killer's sick." I think that's exactly what the bird's saying. It's like, dude, look at those synergies. Look at that vampire killer. Like, good work. Good work. I know you're getting towards the end of the run. Let me obnoxiously chirp to show my support. And just like that, we get Hand of the King out of the way. We get him out of the way. Really easy fight there. We got, again, good synergy, good damage. We got good dot. And I'm walking slow here because we're on our way into the 5BC biome. So if you have not gotten this far and you don't want to see it, thanks for hanging. Now's a good time to close the video. If you are, then let's hop in. Let's get in here. Let's see what legendary we get as we start to move towards the 5BC content. And this was beautiful. You can't write this. You can't write this. So one of the things that Kaustubh had asked for was torch in the backpack. So coincidentally, I don't think I saw a torch in any of those shops, but coincidentally, we got ourselves a flawless Hand of the King fight there. We got ourselves, and I have no money to reroll. So we're stuck. We're stuck with disengagement. We're stuck with support. We're stuck with vengeance. I would have wanted to take Tainted Flask. I would have wanted to take Predator, but we did not have that luck, unfortunately. So, but what we did have luck, otherwise, it's not even luck. It's not that we had luck. I just made bad financial decisions. I ruined my economy, right? I came out of the second shop in Balatro with $1 and I'm not getting any interest, right? So that was a bad decision on my behalf. However, we've lucked out a lot again. So we lucked out with the vampire killer. We lucked out with good reroll synergy on the vampire killer and the Firebrands. And that torch and the legendary torch after Hand of the King was just out of control. It was just absolutely out of control. So we're good. We're good. So that's pretty much the build. I don't think that we're gonna switch anything out. You know, we'll see how the rest of this run pans out, or I should say how the Astral Layout pans out here. But our build is locked in. We're locked in, right? So again, we have pivoted from the faster Hayabusa gauntlets into the balance blade that we did not pick up, and then the one that we did pick up we recycled. So we pivoted from that faster sort of fire, literal fire on the heels kind of build into something that is heavier, that has, again, more synergy. It's going to have more slower, heavier damage output, but this bird's driving me nuts. That bird's probably driving me nuts too. Again, I'm really sorry. I'm going to take this one here because we get extra health and an extra scroll. Again, I'm really sorry if that's actually coming through. I have some sort of sound sensitivity / annoyances, and birds are up there on my list. So if you are also someone who has challenges with noises like that. I completely understand if you want to mute or you don't want to vibe for the rest of the video. I don't want to stop here because I'm already in the thick of it, so I want to make sure that I wrap things up and not have any issues with two pieces of audio here. But I think we got some nice dodging here. Yeah, we get some nice dodging against that LeBrian. I feel like I've said that again. I feel like I've called LeBrian James. I feel like I've said that a couple times in other videos. But yeah, so we're making our way. I think I think Big Bird's out there is gonna finally. I think it finally stopped, which is beautiful. So let's focus back on the run. So again, like I was saying, we got good synergy, we got good damage, we have a great build, and we have almost the entire build that Kaustubh had recommended. So like I mentioned, earlier on in the video, the more sources of burn you have, the better, like whatever. But as I progress through this run, as we progress later into the game, I did want to diversify a little bit. I love Knife Dance. Cleaver is one of my favorite traps, so being able to take that with the Toxic Cloud affix is super helpful. Very, very stoked about that, and we're having a fairly successful Astrolabe here. We got left tower, right? So tower is normally on the right side of the map. I don't know if you want to call it lucked out. It's just a different string of RNG, but we got left tower here. I remember being a little bit confused trying to find the way, but these two shops are connected. You'll see this in the lab sometimes where shops they just so happen to be side by side, which is kind of interesting. But I was a little confused. I was like, wait a second, how do I if there's a laser here, right, and I've already explored most of the level, how do I get through here? So I think there's an enemy there that I'm just waiting. Yeah, I think I set this bird on fire, and then we roll. But we got left tower here, and we're gonna just scoot, right? So we got 55 here. Of course, there's no time door after the Astrolabe. There's no time door after going into the High Peak Castle or the shipwreck or distillery or anything like that. But even though there's no reason to rush at this point, because we have hit all the time doors. So there we go. So both of the goals. Twofer, right? A twofer. We buy one, get one. So both of our goals have been reached, right? We got all of the time doors. I can cross that off the list. We're in great shape. We have the Kaustubh burn build that he requested, so we can also cross that off the list. So we are 2 for 2. So there's no real reason to hurry here. However, like I was saying earlier, there is a benefit to improving my style of play. There's a benefit to playing a little bit faster here. So that's the vibe. So I'm still going to scoot. So you may notice, at this point in the run, I may not be playing as quickly as I did when I was in Ramparts or when I was in the where was I, Graveyard or Sepulcher here. I'm still kind of speeding around. I don't think I think at the end of the level, even though it would be beneficial for me to have more cash, right? More cash for rerolls, maybe more cash to go back to the shop. I don't think I do. And I think this is the top here. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. So we're making our way up here. We're at the final 2 elites, and we're gonna shred these. And I think I just take a quick look at the map. If I remember, I look at the map. I'm like, yeah, there's that food. There's that food. There's that food. I'm like poking around, and I'm just like, yeah, we're at 96% health. Is it worth my time to recycle that amount of recycle? My answer was no. I figured, all right, we got a good build. We're probably not going to re-roll our mutations, or excuse me, we're not going to re-roll our affixes. We will re-roll our mutations, and I knew we were going to get some extra gold here. So literally from the gold, and then also from recycling. So we're back up to about 15k here. We're back up to 15k. Back from a deficit of like 5,000 or 2,000 or whatever it is. And you can see there, I don't even look at my rerolls until I buy or I should say until I reroll my mutations here. This is so funny. Now there's a trash truck in front of my house. This is hysterical. This is absolutely super funny. Again, I'm really sorry if this is being picked up on the mic. Lesson learned, don't record audio unless you're either in the basement of your house or unless it's super late at night and everyone's sleeping. So here's the build. There's the build. Check out the affixes. Check out the check out the items. We're going into the 5BC boss here, so we got some big spoilers coming in here. So if you don't want to see who it is, maybe now's a good time to check off. We have Torch in the backpack with Porky-Pack. And I think for this fight, I'm actually going to stop recording so this trash truck can get the fuck off my street. So I'm going to chill here for a bit. I will be back at the end of the fight. All right, I think it's gone. So real quick, so we took Tainted Flask. I'm going to be drinking that to get extra damage, right? So we're running out of flask here. I'm going to drink basically whenever our friend the collector here drinks. I think I'm going to try to squeeze one off right here. There we go. So we're getting a bunch of extra damage. I think it's like 90 at this point. We've had a flawless fight so far. We continue to have a flawless fight. And we got the build, we got the win. We have Torch, and we got our lucky Torch in the backpack with Porky-Pack. Completely unnecessary at this point with the Firebrands, but because that's what Kaustubh wanted, coincidentally, that's how we ended up. So I hope this video was enjoyable for everyone. Again, you know, playing a little bit faster, trying to get Kaustubh's burn build online. I feel like we did a really good job. Here. So that's the build, that's the run. Hope to be back sometime soon. Again, thanks everyone for, as I say, thanks for chilling, thanks for your time. It's really a pleasure to do these things and also to hang out and talk with everybody. So I appreciate your time. So as always, thanks for watching and good luck out there.